Okay, hello and welcome back to episode 2. And this time, Gail, what are we going to take a look at?
Okay, tooling. As I said, nobody writes code like this. Big script inside an HTML. Not even, if you do it as a script source, it's still huge amounts of code. One file doesn't work. So when we'll talk about tooling, we'll talk about two main things. One, how to create code that spans multiple files. And two, how to create code and transpile it from ES6 to ES5. And more importantly, we'll learn about a new extension to JavaScript, which is called JSX, and how to transpile that JSX to JavaScript.
Okay. Before we even do that, why would we even need to transpile to ES5 at all?
Today, that's a good question. Today, all greenfield browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge understand ES6 fully, including crazy things like async await, etc., etc. But if you're still targeting IE, you will need to transpile to ES5. And most people I know transpile to ES5 anyway. Not exactly sure why, but
backwards compatibility, just in case.
Yes, there are minor
management.
technical details. For example, when you're doing Webpack and you wanted to use production, you wanted to minify the code. Webpack doesn't know how to minify ES6 code.
And we haven't covered what Webpack is.
Yes.
So,
So
you know what? Let's start with the basics.
And then we'll have that conversation later.
So, but just so I understand, the main driver of us even wanting to do user tooling is because this code sucks. This is not how we're supposed to write it.
Yeah.
But if we want to write the way we're supposed to write it, we can't just do it without the tooling, right?
We can't. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
So do we start with the right code, or do we start with the right tooling first? And then change the code?
We're going to start with Node.
Node.
Yes.
No.
Yes, because if we this series is called Understanding React.
Yeah.
So I could jump right in and show code and show examples and show these crazy Webpack configuration files. But I really want us to understand, and to understand, we need to go back to the beginning of how people wrote modules before front-end wrote
Many
modules.
years ago.
Many years ago.
The
When
Stone
was
Age.
Node created? 2011 to, 2010. So
why is it even called Node while we're talking?
No idea.
Node idea.
Cool. Okay. So let's write some Node code. Okay. We'll see the module system there, and we'll see how it was taken literally as is from Node to the front-end world, and how that evolved.
Okay.
And we'll understand Webpack through that process.
Okay. Should I just create a new file?
Create a new file. Call it
just
whatever.
Command N, I guess.
Yes, I think. Yes. And call it whatever. No, just write it, and when you save it.
Okay. Okay. What should I write down?
Let's write console.log. Hello. Right.
Do I need to do the semicolon?
Hey, that's a question of style. I'm not going.
No, don't you have to do that?
No. This is JavaScript. Doesn't matter if it's Node.
Okay. So I'll save.
Oh, and call it hello.js.
Hello Node.
Hello Node. Yeah. Hello Node.js. Oh, .js. Okay. So let's run it. Do a what's it called? Control.
Wait, can you just write it from the command line?
Yeah, we'll open a command line inside VS Code.
Oh, inside VS Code.
Yes, much nicer. Command backtick. A control backtick.
Control backtick.
Yes.
That requires me to find the backtick.
Is this the backtick?
No, probably not.
You changed it. Okay.
No,
so
this is
the backtick.
No. Hey. Oh.
No, find the backtick first.
Yeah, I don't know where the backtick is. Now this is.
I map.
Okay, we're probably gonna be fast forwarding this and then put like Benny Hill music on it.
Oh my God, where is the backtick?
This is like a Norwegian keyboard.
There we go.
Where was it?
Here.
Okay.
There we go. Control backtick. Usually it's above the tab and below the escape.
Ooh, in your fancy keyboards.
In regular
oh, that's
keyboard.
pretty cool.
Yes.
So this looks exactly like my iTerm terminal.
Yeah, it's
It's just hosting iterms.
It's actually written in HTML JavaScript because VS Code is written in HTML JavaScript.
Yeah, but it actually remembers all the coloring.
It runs. It's just a regular terminal. Everything works.
Yeah, look at that. Okay.
Incredibly enough. So write node space hello world.
Node space.
Hello
just
node.
kidding.
Hello node. Are we up? Yes, enter. Oh my no.
Okay, brew install node.
That's when Node, and this is an important thing. Node was written for backend server-side applications, but Node has been used because Node is a general purpose tool. Node has been used to write all the modern tooling that we're using today. So Webpack, Babel, Grunt, Gull.
Is it Babel or is it Babel?
I have no idea. I think it's Babel. I'm the
Babel.
Yeah, so Babel. So Node has been used to write all that code. So today, a front-end developer without Node won't work. Okay, it works. What version are we on? Okay, 9.9. Minus
Hello.
Hello, Node.
Hello, Node.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
How do I know which version I am?
Sorry?
Node minus V?
Minus V or minus version. Yes, 9.3.
So it's 9.3, is that good?
That's the latest. That's good.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Not for development. For development, you need for production, you need the even numbered nodes. 8, 6.
Really?
10. Yes.
That's how it works?
That's how it works.
Is that just how they decided?
That's how they decided. But it's common, I think.
So like V9.4 or V10?
V10.
So we're using a dev version. If we wanted to use production,
we'd probably
V8
use 8.
something?
8, the latest 8. Always use the latest
the
8.
8.
Because of security issues. Because of security fixes.
Understood.
Always use the latest LTS, it's called. Long-term support. Okay. So, now let's...
No, hold on. Actually, about Node. Since we're talking about history, there also was a thing called V8. Is that the same thing?
Nope. Yes and no. Node runs JavaScript, right? How does it run JavaScript?
How?
It uses the V8 engine.
Okay, so the V8 is an internal Node
mechanism? It's embedded inside Node. It's embedded inside.
It's basically a parser of some sort?
No. It's the code. It's the module that runs JavaScript inside Chrome.
Is it a native code? Is it like a C++?
C++. It's the engine that is used in Chrome itself to run JavaScript. So they took that, and open source obviously. They took that and used it to run Node. So V8 is embedded inside Node. And Understood. It's a crazy fast runtime.
Understood.
Really, really, really fast.
Okay, so I used Brew, which is a Mac way of installing a bunch of stuff. You might install it through apt-get install, or on Windows you can actually download the Node installer.
Exactly.
And it should just work, basically.
It just works, yes.
As long as you have it in the environment variable, in the path.
Yes, but it also installs it in the path, etc., etc.
Okay, understood. Okay, so now we have console log hello.
Right. Now let's write a module. Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
And in Node, and remember, in terms of modules and splitting files, Node and browser will in front-end programming will be the same. And how to write a module in JavaScript is very easy. You just create a file. Every file in JavaScript in Node is a module. It's as simple as that. So create another file. Let's call it answer.
And just to make sure, we have left the React world for now. We're jumping into a parallel world of Node.
Yes.
And then later they will combine into a beautiful masterpiece.
Exactly. Okay. Because to understand the module system, we need to understand Node. So
Of course. I'll just save it as
answer.js.
Answer.js.
Right. Okay, and this module will return the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And
17.3.
And there is a reason for choosing this. Okay, so how does one export something from a Node.js module? We use module.export. So if we do here, module.exports equals 42.
Like this?
Yes, equals 42.
Like this?
Yes. Then we've just created a module that exports the number 42.
Okay, how do I jump to the terminal?
We're not going to run answer. It's just a module that exports something.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like a function. Is it like in .NET you would have like a DLL or something, or
package,
or like a jar file in Java?
A jar file in Java.
Okay,
yes.
Understood.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's write another function. You know what? Let's write another function here.
Another module export?
No, just write a function. Function foo. Okay. That's just a function. And let's return something else, whatever.
Return something else.
Right.
Something
else. Now, this function is inside answer.js, but it is private. It is not exported out. Anything inside it will not be visible outside. Only what is attached to module.exports will be visible outside. And this is different from Java and C#, where basically if you have a file and anything inside it is exported by default.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in JavaScript, if you're not exporting it explicitly, it is hidden inside that module.
So like from an object-oriented perspective, you have to explicitly open something, kind of like C++, where you have to have it in the header file or something.
Exactly. So the way to export something is to export it using module.exports.
So in this case, if I wanted to export both of them, what would I do?
Well, you can't. You can only export one thing. So in this case, you will need to export an object which has two properties.
So you can only export one thing per file.
Right.
Or per module.
Per module.
Can you have more than one module?
Equals file. So you can have as many modules as you want.
But you cannot have more than one module in a file.
No. A file is a module. It's that simple.
The file is a module.
A file is a module.
There is no spoon.
The file exactly. And it's amazingly simple. Really. It's amazing.
Okay.
So let's go back to Hello Node and let's use that module. We want to import it. In Node we use require. So write require.
And
require is a regular function. So you call it. You call it. It's a function.
Literally.
It is a function. And you do ./answer.js.
Do I do it in a string?
Yeah. It has to. This is JavaScript.
Oh, it actually shows me that.
Yeah. You can write .js or you can't. It's common to not write .js.
Okay, but it's technically the same.
Yes, but require imports it, but we're not. Where does it import into? And the answer, it returns the exported thing. Okay. So let's put it inside a const. Const answer equals.
What? Equals require?
Yes. Remember, require is just a function.
So does it call the function when you call require?
Yes.
But if I just wanted to bind the function instead of calling it, can I do that? Like the delegate of the function.
Yeah, sure. You could. But
we could, but we wouldn't.
But you could do require this. If this, then require this, else require that.
That's crazy. Okay, so require is just a way to call a function from an external file.
No. Require is the way to import another module. It's just a function. Because if you think about regular languages, C#, Java, Python, the whole module system is part of the language. Unfortunately, when Ryan created Node, there was no module system in JavaScript. So he had to create one. But he couldn't create it as part of the language because he used V8. He couldn't extend V8. So he just built a function called require, which embeds that module system. It's just a function. Okay. What that require does basically is loads answer, gets the module.exports and returns it. That's it.
Does it? So is answer now equal? Is it already 42?
Yes.
Or is it the call to get?
No. It is already 42.
Okay. It's already the value.
And let's check.
So hello plus
answer or comma answer.
Is it okay that the variable name is the same as the import name?
It's commonly the case, not always. For example, if you use Lodash,
what's Lodash?
Lodash is this great library with lots and lots of functions that are basically missing.
Is it a Node library?
It's both used both in Node and in the browser.
Okay.
You can use it in both, and
it's
we'll see a lot
of JavaScript file. Okay.
We'll see a lot of those.
Is there a shortcut for me to move into the terminal?
Yes. control
not backtick. Yeah. Oh, it does. No, it hides it.
Oh,
never mind. Okay. So I'll just do that again, right?
Node, hello, node. Hello 42?
Right.
Okay. So this is the module system.
Okay.
There's one more thing I wanna.
I gotta say, I'm not impressed so far.
Okay.
Good.
Well.
I mean, okay.
This module system is not called the Node module system. It's called CommonJS. Why? I don't know.
How does this help us?
I'll explain. Don't worry. The CommonJS is the most used module system in the world.
Wait. There's a thing called CommonJS?
Yes. The module system inside Node is called CommonJS.
And that is a thing that exposes the function called require?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's the standard by which you say module.export is.
But it's not part of the Node language. It's literally a module inside.
It's part of the. Node is not a language. JavaScript is the language. It's part of the Node system.
Okay.
Platform, if you want.
Ooh, okay. It's getting very philosophical here. I like that.
Okay. Remember, Node runs JavaScript. But it wraps it with lots of stuff so that it makes it useful.
Okay.
In the command line and in the backend.
You can't not have it, basically. It's built into.
It's built into Node.
Okay, yes. So it's CommonJS because it's built into.
And CommonJS is the most used module system in the world today. What do you mean? How do I know that? Very simple. There is a repository of packages, of modules that you can use. And it's currently, since 2015, bigger than any package system out there. It's bigger than Perl's CPAN. It's bigger than Python's pip. It's bigger than the biggest module system that was previously the top king of the castle, which is Maven. Maven was the biggest. It's much bigger than it today. Mm-hmm. So in that repository is called the NPM repository.
Okay.
So NPM is...
Can I go to a website and see what's in there?
Yeah, let's go to npmjs.org.
npmjs.org.
Oh.
I just want to see what Google turns up.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so let's search for... I'm a big fan of Not Invented Here.
Yeah.
And I think that writing your own answer to life, the universe, and everything is really bad because you have to test it and you have to do all sorts of stuff. Let's see if there's something in npm.js.
Life.
So look for answer to life, the universe, and everything.
The answer to everything.
And it's amazing.
Install the answer to everything JS. Require the module.
And then
call the answer to everything equals require the answer to everything. Okay, so I have to run this.
Whoa.
So
you will find everything in NPM. Everything you've ever wanted is there. In terms of even the answer to like the universe and everything. And yes, it's over there on the net. You need to bring it, and to do that, you do npm install. So let's write npm install. But first, before we write npm install, go back to VS Code. We need to initialize our application so that npm will be able to use it. Okay. We need to create a package JSON. Okay. And this is, and we'll see all what I'm talking about will be transportable as is to front-end development. So don't worry, everything I'm talking about is incredibly important when we'll move to front-end development.
So I'll just create a new file here.
No need. Close that. Go back to the command line. I don't know how. And npm init.
npm init.
npm init minus y.
Why? What does y do?
Answer yes to everything. It asks lots and lots of questions.
What kind? Well, just
what is the name of the package? Who is the what is the etc. I don't. I never remember.
So it just generates a bunch of defaults.
Yes.
Instead of asking me 10 questions.
And the important thing is the name of the package, and the name of the package is just like the name of the directory.
So now should I see? Oh, there is a package JSON here.
And look, it knows that this is a GitHub. A repository, so it can put in the bugs and the repository and all kinds of stuff.
What do you mean put in the bugs? Where do you see bugs?
If you'll give me that, here, see? you can actually create an issue using npm.
Oh, because it says it from GitHub.
So the defaults are really, really good. It even creates a test.
Well, why does it say GiltAR React training, but I'm on a Rory React's Git?
I think you're in GiltAR. Do git or git remote -v. There we go. No idea. We'll switch that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. We'll fork or whatever.
Then. Okay. So.
Okay. So.
Are we gonna?
So we've created.
Go through everything here?
No. It's not important. It's totally not important. Okay. And now we've initialized. Now we can npm install. So let's write npm install.
I don't have to say we already generate the file, but I just I know that you want to use it, but I just really want to understand the package JSON. This is what npm install will use.
Yes, and we'll see the changes npm install will do in this file.
And if I didn't have that and I ran npm install,
no idea.
npm install. What will it install?
Wait, you have to say what to install.
Okay, I don't just write npm install. I just want to install this, right?
Yes.
So I'll do npm install the answer to everything.
Yes.
And we're back into yet.
Go back. Well, I do have something else which is definitely there.
That's interesting. Let's try a different one.
Well, there is the answer. Just do npm install the answer.
The answer?
Yes. I was actually surprised.
Install. And why am I... okay.
The dash answer. No, that one.
And where? Like this?
Yes. This is a much better package. Actually, when it's yeah, exactly. Okay, now look at what it's created. First of all, it's created a folder called node modules. See this? We'll talk about that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it saves all the modules that we're installing. Second, and that's even more important, look at what it created here. It created dependencies property, and here it outlines all the dependencies, all the packages that we've installed. Why? Because soon you'll be pushing this file to Git, and then I, as a colleague, will Git pull it. If I run the program, it won't work because I didn't install the answer. But I can do npm install enter, and it will look in the dependencies and install all.
It's kind of like Ruby gem install, right?
It's totally like Ruby gem, pip, Maven, all these package managers. My personal opinion is that it's the best, but you know, it's a personal opinion.
What is that hat sign?
Oh, the caret. I think it's called the caret. The hat. The hat means I'm good with 1.0.0, but I'm also good with 1.0.1 and 1.0.2. Give me the latest 1 point something. So I'm also good with 1.5 point something. I am not good with 2 point something.
So give me any, as long as the major is 1.
Yes.
Is there a different? Is there another?
There is. Yes, there's tilde, which means I only want the third to. I'm good with 1.0.x.
What about give me the latest bleeding edge?
Just star, or I think you can write latest.
Okay, so we've created dependencies.
But that's dangerous.
There's also a package lock.js.
Yes. First of all, when you do npm install and it writes dependencies, this is only from npm 5. So if you're using node 8, that's fine. If you're using node 6, you will need to write npm install -- save to have it inside the dependencies. Package lock is also from npm 5. And I think it's a bit early. In essence, the dependencies here records what I want. Which is 1.0.1.x.x. I don't care. Okay. Package lock records what was brought in, which is 1.0.3 or whatever. Okay. It records that so that when I do an npm install on a colleague's machine, I will get 1.0.3. It locks the version to a specific one. If you want to update
if I click in, I just want to see the difference.
Oh, it's huge. Oh, it's huge because it's just one package.
Version 1.
This is what I want, and this is what I got. In this case, it's the same, but we'll see later when we bring Babel in or whatever, there'll be changes. Now, what happens when the answer is updated? Not that it will ever be updated. The answer will never be updated. But if it is updated, and I do npm install, it will not change. I need to do npm update, and then it will go and look in the npm registry.
Okay, so log basically cements in the version that you got at that moment.
Exactly.
So even if the version changes, it will still use the lock. So from that, if there's a lock, it will always use the version from lock.
You explained it much better than I did. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. And again, all this is true also for front-end development module system. Now let's use the answer instead of our.
By the way, what's an ISC license?
I don't know. There are lots of licenses. MIT, Apache. My favorite, which is the unlicensed, which means do whatever you want. ISC is just one of those. It's a default. You can change it. Okay.
Do you want to show us what's inside Node modules?
Yes. Let's look at Node modules. We have a folder, the answer.
It's basically a Git repo, it looks like. If you open it,
it
looks like a Git repo.
No.
There's license, there's README.
It always brings in the license and the README, but it brings in the file. It brings the package JSON of that Node module.
So you can have internal package JSON.
Yes, and remember, if the answer...
Can you click at that for a
second? Yes, if the answer...
Yeah.
It's machine written, so there are a lot of things there that a human didn't write. Mm-hmm. If the answer also had dependencies, it will bring them in too. So
in parallel or under? Will it have its own Node modules?
That's difficult to explain. Usually in parallel.
Okay.
Usually in parallel.
Understood. So it'll be like parallel libraries most of the time?
When does it do internal? Let's say I have the answer and I have another answer, 2 modules, and they're both using Lodash. Okay, if they're using the same version of Lodash, then that's okay. It will put Lodash here. But when they're different, they will put a...
Yes. Interesting.
Yes. So this is I think it's the only module system that I know of that allows parallel versions of libraries to...
That's pretty smart.
Yes, it's amazing, and I think that is what makes NPM the best.
No, I understand. And are we going to get to use Lodash today too?
Yes.
Okay,
It's my favorite. So let's use the answer. Okay, let's go to hello node, and instead of my required /answer, you know what? Let's bring in both answers and compare them. Let's see.
Const.
Who knows? Const another answer.
Real
answer.
Real answer.
Big A.
What?
Yes.
Real answer.
Answer equals require. And quotes. And
this time, do I also do like a /?
No, that's important. Do enter the answer. Right. You see, it knows. Right. This is Visual Studio Code knowing which node modules.
Does it matter if I do single or double quotes?
No, it doesn't matter. That's JavaScript.
So it's better always to be consistent.
Yes, better. Most people use single quotes.
Why?
It's
people
standard.
Are weird.
Yes. Okay.
So let me just turn back into the single.
That's fine. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Not here. I'm not going into religious questions like.
It's not religion. It's not religion if it's true.
Yeah, that's a VS Code problem. Yes.
Okay. You know what? Some things are better off.
Require,
and the answer.
All right. Okay. So.
Okay. Let's
now.
Use both of them.
Well, the important thing is here our modules use /. And modules that are inside node modules use the answer. And this is important. When there's no dot at the beginning of the path to the module, it will look in the specific. When there is none, it will look in node modules. When there is a dot at the beginning, it will look wherever that path is found. Okay.
It's the / that matters.
Exactly. That is why we wrote /.
By the way, even if you work on Windows, do you still write the
yeah, / maybe // works, but I would doubt.
But it would work either way.
I don't know. I've never done, but write /
Console.
Nobody writes // and it's //. It's really ugly.
Log what?
The real answer.
Real answer.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Should I just run it?
Yep.
Clear. And node. What? Hello.
Hello Node. Oh, it's the same answer.
That's crazy.
Amazing. Yes.
We went all this way to come back around.
Yes, and now we're gonna stop with Node because we're good. Node created a package manager called npm, and with it CommonJS with the require on one hand and the module.exports on the other hand, and created a huge ecosystem of packages. And then came I don't remember the name, but this guy built something called Browserify. Browserify said, hey, this is great, this CommonJS. Let's use it for front-end development. Okay? And he built Browserify. And what Browserify does is looks at hello node.js, looks at all those requires, okay? And finds them using the same resolution that Node does. So if it's /answers, it looks in the specific path, and if it's the answer, it looks wherever Node modules is, etc. It does exactly what Node, but instead of loading them, because we're talking browser, it bundles them together into one big humongous file.
So basically it's saying, look, this is all with JavaScript at the end. If I wanted to use the server side, but I wanted to use it in front-end side, then I'll just load the whole thing up as JavaScript, the whole thing in one big file. So instead of loading in memory, I'll write it to a new file.
Exactly, because the browsers don't have the ability to load modules from the server. They can only do scriptors. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't have that ability. So what that guy said, well, let's bundle everything together.
Yeah, since you cannot run Node in the front end, you can only run JavaScript in the front end.
Right. Now look at this code. This code is what I call isomorphic. Well, not only me. Isomorphic code. This is JavaScript, except for the require. Let's ignore the require for a second. I mean, the answer is obviously something that can run in the browser too. And console.log works in Node, but also works in the browser.
So it's almost isomorphic, but there are some special keywords here.
The problem is require and module.exports and the whole CommonJS system.
Yeah.
But what if, and that guy's asked that question, what if I can take that require and bundle it as one big file and lose that require and module.exports? Can we do that? And his answer was yes, and he created Browserify for that. Now, Browserify had its glory days, but it has been usurped by Webpack. Webpack does exactly the same, and I think we'll just use it, and then we'll understand it much better. Okay? What we'll do is we'll install Webpack, okay, and use it to create a bundle that includes both hello node.js and the answer and answer.
Okay, so basically we're moving away from Node at the server side. We're trying to kind of lift it up into the front end, which means we have to lose some of our keywords.
No, we don't, because Webpack will recognize those keywords and do stuff.
Yeah, but it will get rid of them for us.
For us, yes,
yeah,
but
so
we don't.
I'm saying in the transition to the front end, there are some things that are just not possible to do.
Exactly.
And then the Webpack and Browserify, they basically are translators.
Exactly.
Into take this and make it front end,
right?
Basically.
And we call them bundlers because they bundle all our code together in one big file.
But they're also transpilers, right? Because they transform, they translate.
Actually, no.
No, they don't translate this into JavaScript.
This is JavaScript.
But the require is not.
But look at this code.
Or
it
maybe,
looks like JavaScript. Yeah. They will actually give this code
a meaning. They will
create
a require thing.
A specific require. They will not transpile it.
So they basically created their own framework in a way for JavaScript that will make this run as if it runs in the backend.
Let's see it. I think in this case we'll just run it and we'll look in the code that Webpack creates and it'll be beautiful.
Sure.
Really,
so what do I do?
Let's first of all rename hello node to hello.js because
but
we're going to run
have
this.
Hello HTML.
Well, hello.js is perfect. And we'll
rename it?
Go to the file explorer and right click hello on the top. Hello right click rename. Oh, first of all you have to go.
Yeah, can I just move this and this is.
No, if you go to here.
Oh yeah,
this
that's
is
right.
the place, and then.
So why do I have 2 copies of Hello Node?
This is the. Well, I'll explain.
Oh, that's just the latest opened.
Yeah, these are the opened.
Okay, cool.
Where were we? So we're gonna take this file and make it run in the browser.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we just script source in hello.html, if we just script source hello.js, will it work? No. Why? Because require. It doesn't know require.
Yeah.
So let's install Webpack and make it work.
Oh, just brew?
No. We're in NPM land. No more brew. And this is beautiful because when we're installing Webpack, we're installing it locally in this package. So when I bring it, I will have Webpack because I will do npm install. Okay, that's the beauty of npm. There is no.
It's just another gem, basically. It's just another.
Yes. So we do npm install. Wait. Yeah, Webpack. So, let's install Webpack. So we do npm install Webpack, but we do -- save dev. Save dev. What does that mean?
This?
Yes. We will see in a second that it
Should
saves
I press
it.
enter?
Yes. And it takes time. We will see in a second that it will save it as a dependency. But remember, we don't want Webpack to reach production.
Why not?
Because it's a development tool. When I bundle everything, I don't want Webpack.
So it doesn't actually run in. It shouldn't run in the front end.
It will never run in the.
It's too many activity. Only a subset of Git feature.
Never,
What?
Never show again. Close node modules. Oh, I know. Oh, that's important actually.
What?
Create a git ignore, please.
Okay.
Remember what we're doing here. We've added node modules. Node modules has added. Look here. Just a sec.
Yeah, I'll just say the git ignore. Can you use the dot? No.
You have to rename it from here.
No. It says it is.
Okay.
It asked me if to say.
Sorry. Right.
So come on, dude.
Dot git ignore.
Use the dot there. There you go.
Use the dot, Luke. Okay. Look how many packages. This is amazing. Webpack is added to our 366. That's 350 packages just for Webpack. 350 modules added to here. Now that we don't want that in our Git repository because npm install will anyway create it when we run. Thus we have to npm ignore git ignore node modules. There we go. Now, as you can see, node modules is ignored. It's not it's not green. Okay, the latest version of Visual Studio shows you which haven't been created.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's a cool editor. Okay, so let's look at package.json. Now, package.json has dependencies, which is the answer, which we want in production, we want in the front end, and it has a dev dependency, which is Webpack, which we do not want. It's a development tool.
Okay.
And this distinction is very, very important.
And where do we make the switch between both?
We don't.
I mean, how do we know we're in production or dev right now?
Well, it's more important in node land and less in front end land, because in node land we can do npm install -- production. But for example, if this is a package that others will npm install, then they will not get Webpack. They will only get the dependencies in dependencies. They will not get dev dependencies.
Okay.
So dev dependencies is the dependencies that are used only for development of that package. They will never reach anywhere else.
Okay.
So we have Webpack. This is cool. Now, can we do Webpack enter?
I don't know. Can we
try? And from my voice, you can the intonation. No, you cannot, because it does not install anything locally. Where does it install?
NPM Webpack? Do I have to do that?
No. Well, almost. But let's see where it installed it. First of all, it installed it in node modules. But there's a very important subfolder in node modules, which is called .bin. So write /node modules /.bin. .bin, yes. And here you can find Webpack. Enter. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. You can do -- help if you wanted to see all the CLI options.
Just want to see what's in there.
It's just a symbolic link to the to JavaScript code.
But is it like shell code? What is it?
No, it's JavaScript code, but it has a hash bang.
Interesting.
Yes. Obviously, in Windows, it's a bit different.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's missing a configuration file.
So we can run it like this, or we can run it like npx. Webpack. npx space webpack. It's like np execute.
npx
x webpack.
And that'll go directly there.
Yes.
Oh,
it just adds node modules bin to the path and runs the rest. Okay. Now npx is pretty recent, so Node 8. I don't think it's available, or npm 5 and above.
So we're currently in Node 9,
which is good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's
wait. Do most companies, which version of Node do they usually run?
Either 6 or 8. Whoever runs, theoretically 4 is still supported.
Are they?
I would go today with 8.
Are people afraid of upgrading Node from, let's say, 6 to 8?
From my experience, it's almost a no-brainer. I don't think I've ever had a problem, and V8 is V8 from 6 to 8 had a huge upgrade in terms of performance.
The V8 engine, yeah.
The V8 engine, the V8 engine in Node had a huge upgrade in terms of performance from 6 to 8. Okay. We're talking 20%, 30% faster.
Wow.
People are even saying more. So I would definitely go with 8 today.
Understood.
But hey,
what do I do with this now?
Let's bundle.
Okay, let's do it.
So npx webpack.
I did that.
Yeah, but yes, and let's tell it what the entry point is, which is take this file and turn it into something that we can use in JavaScript, in the front end, in the browser.
Okay.
So minus entry.
Entry like this,
right? Space, obviously. And which do you? Oh, we want to create hello.js.
No, let me just. I'll do it clear so it's easier to.
And as long as we're here, can you do a make dir?
Oh, make dir?
Yes.
Like this?
Dist. D-I-S-T. This is customary.
Right in the root?
Yes.
Well, what's the use for that?
It's short for distribution.
Yeah.
This is what will be distributed to customers. Okay. This is what will be script sourced.
Should I see into it now?
No, it's
so I'll just do a npx webpack, yeah.
Minus entry hello.js and minus output dash file name. No, there's no output.
Damn it.
Dash file name.
Oh, like this. Okay. Yes. File name.
Space dist slash hello.js. Bundle.js. Let's call it bundle.js.
Does it have to be? Could we call it just group.js? Sure. Like anything. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
I always new hello or .js. I just want to say
perfect.
Does it have to be JS?
Yes. Yes. It has to be because we're going to script source it.
That's it.
Yes. Error cannot resolve hello.js. Okay.
Maybe our hello.
No. When we say hello, up arrow. There we go. When we say hello.js, it uses Node's resolution. So it's looking for hello.js in the Node modules folder. Okay, so like dot slash exactly.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow.
It webpacked it. It packed it. And let's look in dist. And let's look at new hello and look at the file. Yes, believe it or not, we will see our code somewhere down below.
Yeah, so it created its own require function.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a lot of.
And here is our code. Look at that.
Where?
Const answer, const real answer.
Oh.
Yep. So yes,
so it calls Webpack require.
In a way, it did transpile.
Interesting.
Yes. And this is and this is the answer code. Oh, this is our code. And this is the answer code.
Where is the code that actually runs?
This.
Interesting. So, shouldn't it be like the last piece of code?
No, I think it's the first. This is preamble. This is like the framework, and then it's the first. But I really don't know. You basically don't look at
Yeah, but I'm saying usually browsers, they read JavaScript from top to bottom, right? So if you didn't define it by the time something is happening here, and you define it later,
and it's all inside an IIFE.
Okay.
It's doing really crazy stuff.
And so far, we've not done any React at all. All we did was technically transform a piece of JavaScript into so you can run it in the browser.
Let's see if it works. Let's see. Okay. Let's go into index.html and we'll script source dist/hello. We'll script source it. Yeah, somewhere.
On top instead, or
doesn't matter. No, on top.
I mean, source. But instead, or we just
no. It just does a console log. We'll check whether the console log works.
Okay, source equals what?
Dist/.
Do I do this?
Well, this is browser land. Do you have to do that? The answer is no.
Okay, so I just do this.
A new hello, you called it, right? .js, and close the script. Yep. Perfecto.
What was the shortcut to run this?
Script tab.
Command tab? What?
Script tab.
No, to run this.
To
run in the browser.
I think you didn't install the extension. So open hello.html.
Here, right?
It's the same. Go to right click inspect and console. There we go.
Console. Yeah, it's the console. Yeah. Did we see it?
Yes.
Hello 42.
And go over. See? Hello 42 and object. Interesting. Right. Interesting.
Should I download the React DevTools
now? No. Okay, this was not supposed to happen, but I think I know why this is happening. And I really don't want to explain right now why, because it will I will need to explain about ES modules. And I want to first explain about ES modules, and then we can go back and maybe try and explain this. The answer here is to just do .default.
And we'll explain what this means
a bit later.
Or we can just accept it on the front end. We'll just get an object sometimes and the thing.
Actually, don't worry, because we're not going to use require.
We're going to solve this.
We're going to use this. We're going to use the ES module system, which I'll explain later, and there we won't have any problem.
So this is just something that we have to understand so that we can use the other stuff.
Okay. So and then it works. Let's try it. Woo! Hello. No. Why isn't this working? Because it's using new hello.js.
I think you moved too fast. I don't think they saw that it's not.
We changed this to .default.
Yeah.
Now we go here. We refresh. It's still the same problem. Why is that? And this is important because it's not looking at hello.js, it's looking at a new hello.js. So we need to Webpack again to make this work. And we'll see how to make this automatic and everything.
Can you just go back to the...
Yes, let's go back and track. Yes, 42.
Okay. So it was an object, now it's not. And we'll understand why this is happening later on.
Yes. Okay, so this is cool. We've taken code from Node and used it as is, almost, in front end. We've created a way to use modules from the NPM repository and our own modules and split our own code into lots and lots of files, as many as we want. And then we use Webpack as a bundler to bundle everything together into one big file, which we can script source. Okay? So this is really cool. Up till now, which package manager has we used? NPM and CommonJS, right?
Yes. Well, again, when you say CommonJS, in my head...
CommonJS is the require module exports.
Yeah, it's just like a...
And NPM is the package manager that supports it.
Okay.
In 2015, the committee for JavaScript, which is called TC39, released...
TC39.
Released the ES6 standard. It's called ES 2015.
ES6 ECMAScript. Okay.
And in that, they defined a new module system for JavaScript.
That has nothing to do with NPM.
It has nothing to do with CommonJS or NPM. Nothing whatsoever.
Okay.
But fortunately, it is moduled on it, in a way.
Moduled on it or modeled on it?
Modeled on it, sorry. It is modeled on it. It looks very, very, very similar. The syntax is different.
Yeah, but it is a parallel thing.
It is a parallel thing. But we'll see later, and we'll see in a second, not later, that we can transpile we can use it, sorry, not transpile, we can have Webpack use that module system, and it looks just like require, and it functions just like require, and the most important thing, it can use any module that we have, whether it's an ES module or a CommonJS module.
Why should we move to it, though? What's the point?
Okay, well...
why not just keep what we have right now?
And up to like 2 years ago, people used require. They didn't use ES modules. But then there was this big, and in Node.js, they still use require. Because if you use ES modules, you have to transpile. You have to do something because Node doesn't yet support ES modules natively.
It just adds a layer of complexity.
Exactly. But in the front end, okay, let me say, people want to be cool, want to be standard driven. So they started using ES modules. They're saying, we're transpiling anyway. Okay, we're transpiling from ES6 to ES5. So let's use the coolest, newest thing, which is ES modules.
But does it give any kind of an extra benefit to even use ES modules instead of regular require CommonJS?
At first it didn't. At first it was just this cool thing, and let's start using ES modules, which is good. Okay, but then something called tree shaking happened. Tree shaking, yes, is the ability to let's say you're importing Lodash. Okay, Lodash has literally hundreds of functions or tens of functions, but let's say you're using just the 2-upper, whatever. Okay,
but we haven't explained what Lodash is.
Lodash is a library of lots and lots of functions, like map, reduce, filter.
And it's written in which language?
JavaScript.
Okay,
and you can use any of the functions there. Okay. Now, if you import Lodash, you'll get all those hundreds of functions. That's a big thing. And in front-end development, size matters. The smaller it is, the better it performs. Okay. So in terms of network bandwidth. So using importing Lodash, the library, with hundreds of functions was not a good idea. Okay. But then tree shaking came in. Tree shaking says, yeah, import Lodash. Use just 1 or 2 functions. We will shake the tree. It's the tree of dependencies of modules, and use just the code that is needed. So you import all Lodash, but in your final bundle, you will get only those functions that you used.
Interesting.
And this is available.
It's like pruning in a way.
Exactly. It's exactly pruning.
Okay, so it's exactly pruning.
Exactly.
So that's why we want to use ES6 modules. Basically.
Yes. That is the main answer. Also to be cool, very, very cool.
You know what? That's the kind of stuff that just bothers me. Doing something just for doing it.
So let's rewrite this using ES6 modules.
Wait. So we've just decided that we're not going to use require anymore. We want to switch to that parallel system and use ES modules instead.
And this is important because if you look at most of React documentation, it's using ES modules.
Okay, let's do it. So what do I have to do?
Let's use ES modules. So we do, instead of, can I just write it?
Yeah.
It'll be the best, instead of just dictating it. We'll see how close this is, and to show how close it is, I'll do import answer from ./answer. And import real answer from the answer.
So instead of doing requires, you change it into import? That's it?
And remember, the answer will just work, but we want our answer, which we exported, this is our code, to use ES6 also. So modules.export is out. So we do export default 42. Remember default? It's this default. Export default 42. Okay. So now our code is totally ES6.
Oh.
And the nice thing about the answer, and which caused us problems before, was that it is an ES6 module. It's a dual. It's both CommonJS and ES6 module. So when Webpack looked at it, it used it as an ES6 module, and that's why we got the default thing.
So here's what's bothering me right now. These are very close together, and it's very easy to confuse both of them. Is there a guide online or something that says, like a dictionary. This equals this in ES6.
Yes.
Or whatever. Maybe we can open it just so people have, or B2, like have the reference. Where do you go to see if I want to move from here to here? This is what I have to do.
I've never, and probably there is, but there's a talk that will be online about CommonJS and ES6 modules.
Yeah.
It's from NodeFest Japan.
And who is the handsome speaker that is doing the talk?
Yes, and it's exactly about the difference between. At least the first part is exactly about the difference between. It's not yet online, I think.
Okay, but so until that's online, CommonJS to ES6.
Yes. Oh, you'll find a lot of them.
Yeah. Is there like a CLI to convert?
This is, the second one is the one you're looking for.
Oh, ES6 modules for people who know CommonJS. Exactly. That's a good title.
It is. So you see, CommonJS, ES6.
You got that.
This is exactly what you're looking for.
Spark. Kendo.
Okay,
so
CommonJS.
So it goes through the whole thing. That's pretty good.
Now there are more.
There are more.
And what I really don't want to do right now is to talk about ES6 modules.
Yeah.
I want to talk about tooling.
Yeah.
When we will go with React, and we'll see all the examples.
We just have to understand what we're using.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's very intuitive.
So just so I understand so far the journey we have had, and that also goes to the point of why I think it was so difficult for me to start learning React on my own. Is because there's been all these transitions.
Yes.
You moving from front end back to back end, which is then you're transpiling into front end, but there are two ways to actually transpile it. There are two ways to actually two different package management solutions out there.
Exactly.
There are two different protocols like ES6 and ES5. And so now what we are currently using is we're using the ECMAScript 6 package management solution, which is using imports.
Yes.
But we're still using Node because we want to run Webpack.
Exactly.
Because we still want to write code in React that is somehow readable. We haven't gotten into JSX yet, etc. But this is going to allow us to do this, right?
Yes.
At this point, do we have all the tools we need to actually just write React the way it's supposed to be written?
Yes.
Okay, so we've set the groundwork.
Yes.
Okay, so
we've laid the groundwork.
We've laid the groundwork, like I just said. In the next video, we're going to actually start using React the way we should have used it the whole time.
Yes, we're going to use Webpack to bundle React along with our code, use React the modern way, and we'll learn about JSX and Babel when we're good.
Perfect.
Yes.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.